What's going on, guys? Welcome back, and today I'm going to be doing a movie review on Ant-Man and the Wasp. And before I get into this, there will be spoilers in this video for Ant-Man and the Wasp. I know this review is delayed, but I just didn't see it when it first came out, but I have seen it now, so I'm doing a movie review on it. I did also get the Ninjago Throne Room Showdown set yesterday, as well as seeing this movie, so be expecting a review for that set, as well as this movie, of course. So we're going to get into this review and what I thought of the movie, and we're going to start off with the characters. And I, of course, love Paul Rudd as Ant-Man. He's such a great, charismatic character, and he adds some great humor to the movie, of course. He's very funny, and I love Paul Rudd as Scott Lang. Evangeline Lilly, who is the Wasp, or Hope Van Dyne, she's also great. I liked her in the first one. She wasn't, like, bland, but I just didn't love her in the first one. She definitely steps into a bigger role in this one, and she becomes, I think, a better character, so she was definitely great. I didn't mind Ghost, the villain. She was pretty good. For the amount of screen time she got, it was cool to find out that she used to work with S.H.I.E.L.D. Well, they I guess, kind of hired her and were like, alright, if you don't do what we ask you, we're gonna kill you, so it was cool to find out some more, like, behind the scenes and, like, what used to happen with S.H.I.E.L.D. and stuff, so that was cool to find that out. And I felt bad for her, you know, she's not really a villain. Like, the first time you meet her, she's like, I don't want to kill you, Scott, but I will if I have to, because, you know, she'll do what she has to do for self-preservation. So I felt bad for her. I thought she was a pretty good character, so yeah, I liked Ghost. I didn't mind Bill Foster as well, the person who, I guess, kind of adopted her. He was okay. He didn't do a ton. He was also in Justice League as well. But yeah, he's okay. I didn't love him, but he was good. And then Michael Douglas as Hank Pym, he's great. He's probably even better than he was in the first one. He gets more time to step into the limelight, or the spotlight. And for the amount of time that Janet Van Dyne was on screen, she was pretty good. I did enjoy Janet Van Dyne. Not as much as the other characters. She might be like my least favorite, but she wasn't into that much. And of course, spoiler alert, she's dust. She's turned to dust, so they just got her back and she's turned to dust, so that's unfortunate. So yeah, I think that's all the characters that I talked about. Oh, of course, Luis is great. Michael Pena, he kills it as Luis. He's hilarious, and he's just a bag of laughs. I love Luis when they give him the truth serum. He's hilarious. I love him. So yeah, I think that's all the characters. I like the sidekicks as well that work with Luis, so yeah, great characters there as well. So, and then the villain as well, the other villain, Sunnybird, she was probably the worst character. He was really unnecessary, and I'll get more into that later in the review. So we're gonna get into the good now, and the good is Scott and Cassie's relationship, or Scott Lang and his daughter. I thought the moment where she's kind of talking to him, he's like, I can't leave, I'm on house arrest, and she's like, you can do whatever you want. You're the world's greatest grandma. And even though it's supposed to be comedic, or it's supposed to be a comedic moment, it was really heartfelt, and I think that also that is a great character as well, Cassie Lang, and that young actress is really good. Like I said with the actress in Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, I hope to see her in more movies as well, because she was really good in the first one as well, but she's probably even better in this one. And the humor, of course, is great. It's probably even better than the first one in terms of the humor. It's probably all, like, equal to the first one, in my opinion, like, on how good the movie is, but the humor is probably even better. Scott creates a lot of good humor. The characters are another strength. I thought the only relationship that really worked for me was the one between Scott and his daughter. Hope and Scott really didn't work for me as a couple. They worked in the first one, but in this one, they didn't really work, and they just kind of, like, they were arguing throughout the whole thing, and it just kind of felt, when they finally kissed or whatever, it just felt really kind of lame, like, it doesn't feel like they've been building to this at all, you know. It felt like that relationship kind of flopped, and it didn't really work for me. So yeah, that was probably a flaw with the movie. And I'm gonna say the famous Dark Knight phrase backwards here. It's the movie we need, but not the one we deserve right now, because after Infinity War and Black Panther, those movies are so dark, and this one's just like a big happy ball of fun until the end, which we'll talk about, but it's just, it's a big happy ball of fun, and this movie is just a blast. It's really fun. So, yep. And, we're gonna get into the bad now. No, the bad is there's a lot of convenient plot devices. So, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it just felt like these things were there so that they could move the plot along, and it was just kind of like, oh, Janet possesses Scott so that she can type in the computer and give them the location on where she is in the quantum realm. That felt just too convenient. And then how she's just magically able to heal Ghost at the end. And so it just felt like Janet's stuff, like Janet was way too convenient in this. And then also that you're just like, oh wait, it just so happens that the old suit can pinpoint the location of the lab. You know, it was just like, there's so many like plot devices that were just like, get from point A to point B. Here's this, it's convenient. You know, it was just kind of dumb. And like it's a funny scene when she possesses Scott, but it's like to like hack into the computer, but it's just like, it's really dumb. like for this movie that's based around science and stuff, it's like she comes back and she's like, I've gone through evolution or something, and then she just heals Ghosts and touches her or whatever. So that was kind of lame and disappointing. And so those were some problems. And then also how Sonny Birch is basically just a character that they added in so they could have more action scenes. Like, he feels like the right character for this goofy, wacky movie. He's the goofy, wacky villain. He fits in this movie. But he doesn't have any character development, and he's just in it so that they can have a few more action scenes. It's almost like the writers were like, we don't have enough action. Let's add in this character called Sonny Birch so we can have a fight in the kitchen where Wasp beats up some guys, and then a huge car chase at the end. You know, it just felt like, we need more action. Let's just write in this random character. You know, it was just kind of disappointing and lame. Now we're going to talk about the credit scenes, which were awesome in this. The first one was awesome. The second one wasn't as important, so you don't have to stay for that one necessarily. So the first one, Ant-Man's going into the quantum realm to get particles for Ghost, which I don't really know why they need them, because, like, Janet already healed her. Maybe, they didn't fully, like, Ghost wasn't fully healed, and her condition is worse than we thought. But it was kind of like, okay, I thought they already healed her, but they're going to get, or they send Scott into the quantum realm to get the particles to heal Ghost. And they're like, alright, we're bringing you up in 5, 4, 3, and they're like, what happened? Guys, bring me up. Quit joking around, you told me yourself. And then it just kind of cuts back, and you just see dust particles floating there. And, like, since I went to see it yesterday, which is later than it was first released, there wasn't as many people in the theater. But there was, like, these 5 guys in front of us, and when that happened, they were like, like, they all gasped, and, like, I knew that was gonna happen before the movie came out, because I spoiled myself, or before I saw the movie, because I spoiled myself, but it was still shocking to see. It's just like, you don't even see them disintegrate, you just see where they were standing, just dust, just floating. And so Scott is trapped in the quantum realm. And then in the second credit scene, you see the giant ant playing the drums. But before that, you hear this beep, and then you see, out of the corner of the screen, it's half cut off, you can see the TV in Scott's house that says, warning, this is not a test. The world is in jeopardy. People are disintegrating all over the place. It doesn't say that, but that's what they're implying. This is not a test. The world is in jeopardy. And, so they don't know what to do. So before Scott went into the quantum realm, Janet mentioned some time vortexes. I feel like those will come into play in Avengers 4, because apparently in the leaked Avengers 4 footage, you see Scott Lang talking to Tony Stark about some tech they have that can travel through time. So I'm assuming somehow they find a way to harness the time vortexes. Or since we know that Captain Marvel will somehow play into the quantum realm, maybe in Captain Marvel's movie, in like a credit scene or something, she'll find Ant-Man there. I don't know. I feel like in Captain Marvel there'll be a credit scene where she gets Nick Fury's message, and then she heads into the quantum realm to go forward in time because she knows about the time vortexes, and then maybe somehow she finds Scott Lang there. So I think that might happen. So, that's really everything I wanted to talk about. I know this is a quicker review, but I'm trying to do a quicker review style now. So my final thoughts, it's a ball of fun, it's a great movie, but there's quite a few plot, like, flaws and just conveniences. Like, all the characters are great. The relationship between Scott and Cassie's great. The scene with them in their room is probably the best scene in the movie, in my opinion. And the credit scenes are great as well. And then at the end, it says, Ant-Man and the Wasp will return, period. But then it transforms into a question mark. Ant-Man and the Wasp will return? That was great. That was just awesome. And it's like, oh! So yeah, it's a ball of fun, but there's some, just, basically the plot's just like, here, go from point A to point B. There's this convenient thing that you can use. So it's just way too convenient, and I thought that was kind of lame, but, so yeah, it's a ball of fun. It's the movie we need after Infinity War, because Infinity War was so dark and grim, and this one's really fun, except for the end. It's like, the end is like, make me happy, and then Scott's out of house arrest and all that, and then suddenly it's like, done! They just all turn to dust, and Scott's trapped in the quantum realm. So you think it's a happy ending, but then it's not, so yeah. Can't wait to see how they resolve that, and so like I said, it's a ball of fun, but there are some conveniences and plot issues, like Sunnybirch is basically just a character that's written in so they can have a few more action scenes. But, so yeah, those are my final thoughts. I'm going to give this movie a B+. I really love it. I think it might be equal to the first Ant-Man, but I think the humor's better. I think the characters are better. The villain is definitely better. Ghost is definitely better than Yellow Jacket, so yeah. Those are my thoughts on Ant-Man and the Wasp. That's it for my review on Ant-Man and the Wasp. You guys let me know what you thought of Ant-Man and the Wasp if you saw it. I'm sure you have because I'm late reviewing this, but yeah, you guys let me know what you thought of Ant-Man and the Wasp and what you think of my review of Ant-Man and the Wasp in the comments. And I hope you guys have a great day. Take care.